Hey, what's up? This Donte the Great from Space Invaders. All the way from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ohio against the world. Representing on B-Shine. You know what time it is. 5-1 Trey. Well, I know my first experiences was with hip-hop was personal. When I was about 8 or 9, my mom bought me one of them turntables that come in a suitcase, you know what I'm talking about, with the little speakers on the side. So she bought me one of those, and I had 3 records. I had Stevie Wonder, Intervisions, Rapper's Delight, and Run DMC, Hard Times, 30 Days. And that was my first exposure to hip-hop. They made me love hip-hop, but Rakim actually inspired me to want to be an actual MC and not a rapper. Just seeing how one person could come in and change the game completely, you know what I'm saying? Because when Rakim came out, you know, it was a lot of stuff like LL, Run DMC. It was like a rock, hip-hop bass sound, and he came in with a real quality control flow, definitely ill cadence, you know what I'm saying? And it was laid back. You could hear everything that he was saying, and you could feel him, and I felt like if I was going to rap, that was the type rapper that I would want to be. So I took little pieces of what he did, sprinkled it on what I knew how to do, man, and, you know, the rest became history for real. Well, when we first got into the game, what we did, we started our own label and everything. We had a group called Mood. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm also a member of a group called Mood from Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to Main Flow, Josh Sun, and High Tech. What we did is we had a song that we did called Hustle on the Side that we had produced by High Tech. We went out, we shot our own video to it, we pressed up our own vinyl, and you know, this was in the early 90s, so once we got our vinyl cassettes and everything, we shot up here to New York. We went to Flavor Unit, we went to Jive, we went to Columbia, we went to all the labels that was around back then and shopped our product. And a lot of them was interested in this, but TVT was allowing us to keep what we wanted to be. Everybody else kind of wanted to turn us into what was popular at the time, I would guess you would say, or what was the trending fad as far as music, and they allowed us to keep our identity. So we wound up rolling with TVT, putting together an independent album. It was half produced by High Tech, half produced by Josh Sun. We featured Kweli on 6 songs. And, after that, the rest became history. Kweli and High Tech formed Reflection Eternal. Then they did the Black Star album with Ruckus, and they signed with Ruckus and put their music out, and all of that basically came back full circle and led us here. Yeah, I've known Kweli since 92, maybe, 93. Yeah. It's been a long time, man. We've been knowing each other for a minute, and I actually met him through a friend named Amari who used to be his roommate. Shout out to Amari as well. We were coming up here back and forth shopping our music, and Amari came up here with us, and him and Kweli had been roommates, and Kweli was doing like more like spoken word stuff. You know, he was working in Nukiru books and stuff like that at the time, which he wound up owning later on in his career with Mos Def. And like they would have like little bookstore shows where literally we would go in there, we would have a boom box, no mic, no speakers, but it would be like 200 people that would show up every time to come out and see us perform. So it was a real intimate environment, but that was when I really knew that, you know, I had something special and we'd be able to make it when we could come to New York, and we had fans in New York, and Ralph McDaniels put our video on Video Jukebox, and I would be walking along 42nd Street and people recognized me and asked me for autographs, man. That was my first taste of fame, man, and I was never really a fame bandit. I just wanted people to hear my music and, you know, see what was in my soul, really. My mom never really liked rap music, you know what I mean? She's more in the soul, R&B, you know, she's from the old school, but, you know, I think she appreciated me and she supported me in whatever I decided to do, you know what I'm saying? She probably wanted me to be a lawyer or a doctor, you know what I'm saying? And I really probably could have been a lawyer. I really would have been a really, really good lawyer because I'm an argumentative person. And it's hard to beat me in an argument if you ain't got your facts together, you know what I'm saying? But it was too much lying and deceit in that, man. So I just felt something that I could do that I felt like I can express my soul and just be genuinely me, and then I do it through the music. The first time I performed in New York City, we did a show at the Lyricist Lounge. It was us, Wu-Tang Clan, Dead Prayers, Sons of Man, and Brand Nubian. Yeah, it was ill. And then I battled Biggie Smalls in Cincinnati. I gave him bars, needless to say. I got carried off like Caesar. That was one of the real highlights of my career because after we wrapped a few rounds, he gave me the nod, told me, "You nice, like bro, you got it, keep doing it." And in the presence of Hot Tech and Kweli and other artists like that, man, it was a real honor. And I really looked up to Biggie at the time because at the time he was just being crown king of New York. You know what I'm saying? So, and New York was the mecca of hip hop at that time. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the best highlights of my career because, not too shortly after that, Biggie was taken away from us, man. And I love the fact that I can be genuine and express myself, man. I don't have to really try to be like nobody else. My fans don't expect me to sound like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And the public at large that's familiar with me, they're familiar with my voice and my soul. You know what I'm saying? So the most gratifying part for being an artist to me is that I get to express my true self and who I am. Sometimes I get creative with it, and just to do that for the fans, but mostly I try to speak from the heart, and that's really my therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this crazy ass world, you need an outlet sometimes, and music is my therapy. And when I got problems, I take to the pen. You know what I'm saying? Definitely travel the world. You know what I'm saying? I've been a lot of places. I've been probably maybe 15, 20 countries in Europe. I've been all through the Americas. I've been all through the Caribbean, South America. I haven't made it to Japan or Africa yet, but, hopefully those are on the near future horizon for me because I would like to touch all the continents before I'm gone. And if I could do it through my music, that'll be a great accomplishment if people on all the continents would appreciate my presence. My biggest musical influence is Bob Marley. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope I could leave a legacy somewhat similar to what he did, and not as so much as being as grand as he was, but when I first learned about Marley when I was young, I only knew of a few commercial songs, right? So then as I got older, I figured out, like, he's been dead for like 10, 15, 20 years, and he's still going platinum. How the hell is this possible? So I just started digging into his catalog, and I figured out that his best music wasn't his commercial music. I figured out his best music was the music you had to go find, and it had a message behind it, and it had some type of meaning, and that it would still be relevant today. So for me, my biggest music influence was to be able to make music that could stand the test of time, so that when I'm long gone, my words will still ring true amongst people when they hear them in their ears.